What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Married to Reality. I'm your co-host, John, here with my wife and co-host. Unlike Bilal, when I mess up my tasks, she just says, let me do it. It's the one and only Thaís.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? And that is so true.
That's how I get out of all my tasks. Is that you are just so, I don't know that you're unwilling to show me the right way to do it. And
I'm not unwilling, but
you show me once and I can't follow.
Unfortunately, I live by the rule that I want to get things done right, but fast.
Okay.
And it would take more time for me to show it to you.
That's right.
But I feel like I should stop treating you like a baby.
No, I mean, there are some things I will never figure out how to fold T-shirts the way you fold them. No matter how many times you show me how to do it, and you've showed me
so many times,
a handful of times, I just can't do it. I don't know how you do it. You have a magic touch.
The way you do it doesn't pile correctly.
I know. It's a beautiful thing what you do. But
thank you.
Bilal will sit there and force Shaeeda to conform to his ways.
But unlike Shaeeda, when I and Kobe and Emily, when I ask you to do something and I see you're a little lost, I navigate you. I'm like, can you please do this? Can you please do that? Can you grab that and put it in the fridge when I'm cooking? You're my little helper. You just run around and you do things as I ask you, and you don't have a problem with that, and that's beautiful.
No, I'm willing to help, but you get a little upset when I can't do it your way. So then you're just like, move. I'll do it.
I don't get upset.
No, you just take over, which is beautiful.
I do take over, yes.
Yeah.
But you do help me. You are my little helper. You're my sous chef when I cook. You're my co-cleaner. Not co-cleaner. You're someone I hired to help me a little bit.
Where's my paycheck?
I am your paycheck.
Oh, hello.
Oh.
What's up, guys? We are back to talk about 90 Day Fiance. It's episode 8.
Yeah.
We're cruising.
What?
We're cruising. Some of these couples cruising faster than others. Although I think a lot of couples took a big step in the timeline this episode, because up until last episode, which was episode 7, it was a couple days in for a few of these couples, and then 30 days in for other couples. Now, not that we're catching up and becoming equal, but we're at least, I think, 60 or 70 days in for most of these couples.
No way.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay, 70 days left, 60 days left.
70 days to wet.
Right. But that's still 70, 80. That's 20 days in. Last episode, it was like 2 days in for some of these couples. So I think we took some big leaps.
I guess it depends on how much do they film them.
I know. I'm not complaining.
But this episode was fire.
Oh, really? You liked it?
I loved it. It was so good.
Oh, agree to disagree. For me,
really?
This was a bit of a slower episode.
What?
Give me, without going through everything, just shout out a couple things that you absolutely loved about this episode.
I love that fight that Ari created.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to wait 2 hours to get there, but okay.
True. I love that whole Emily and Kobe little argument. That was pretty good. And we got to see all the beautiful horses.
I knew. See, that's what I was waiting for. You loved, this was the coming together of 2 of your favorite Discovery shows. This was 90 Day Fiance meets Barn Sanctuary.
Oh my gosh.
And that's, I think, why
love Barn Sanctuary.
Those are some handsome horses.
And they love being.
They're so nosy.
So nosy.
Those are such nosy
They're
horses.
laughing to the camera.
They're all just like, oh, what are you guys talking about? Oh, a little gossip. We love gossip over here. Come on.
Beautiful.
I think that's why you.
And Bilal and Shaeeda. I mean, Bilal showed us once again that he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Classic.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, Mohamed taking Eve to the mosque. That was pretty good.
I thought it was okay. All right, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it before we do
Debbie Downer over here.
No, I still enjoyed watching it. You're making it seem like it was a 10 out of 10 episode.
Good.
I would say 7 out of 10, maybe.
I'm gonna say 8.5 out of 10.
I like
that's
it.
Fire.
We don't have to agree on everything.
Very true.
Let's do a little housekeeping here. If you want to follow us on social media, we think you should do it.
Absolutely.
At Married to Reality Pod on Instagram. Primarily, that's where we hang out. We do post on Facebook, but if you want to chat with us, if you want to make sure you see everything, definitely come over to Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. We're going to be going live, right? We're going.
We are. I know you guys are asking us, and thanks for that, but
no, you're saying we are like we don't have a date set.
No, we don't. Do we?
How drunk were you when I brought this up to you?
Was it last night?
It may have been.
Yeah. Well.
Guys, I know you probably don't have the date circled on your calendar the way we do. But this coming week, is our 2-year anniversary of the podcast.
You're right. We are going to go live.
See?
Ugh.
Yeah, believe it or not, we've been doing this thing for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years.
I know.
Sometime this week. I forget the exact day. But I talked to you, Teresa, and you said this is a great idea. We should go live on Wednesday to celebrate the 2 years because MAFS is done. I think there's like another look back episode, which no one wants to watch that. So
I mean, we've seen it all.
Yeah, how many times? I think MAFS is taking a page out of 90 Days book where it's like, well, we could show them the episode, then we could show them the episode with other 90 Dayers watching the episode. Then next week we could show them the episode with never before seen. It's like, you're just showing the same show 3 different ways. That's what MAFS is starting to do. And so we don't need to watch that. Let's go live. Let's go live Wednesday night.
What time?
Should we do 9 again?
That's late. I would do 8 p.m. Eastern.
I feel like that's early. That's 5 o'clock on the West Coast. People are still at work.
All right, 9.
Let's go 9 o'clock, Wednesday, June. Monday's the 6th. Tuesday's the 7th.
So the
8th. Okay. Wednesday, I think it's June 8th, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
We'll go live. Join us on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. We'll talk about everything. We'll talk about 90 Day. We'll talk about Below Deck. We'll talk about MAFS if you want to tie up any loose ends over there. We could talk about us and the podcast if you have questions. It's the 2-year celebration. Let's celebrate it. Let's celebrate that we've made it this far, however far this is. So join us on Instagram Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. We'll talk everything you guys want to talk about. All right. Also, make sure you're following the podcast. Okay, you're following Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. Follow the podcast wherever you're listening. It's so easy to do. Look down, smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as the beautiful horses.
All right, I knew that.
So beautiful and so hot.
So much beauty. I mean, don't call the horses hot.
No, but hot in like a beautiful way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure, we're going to keep moving. Smash it like it's hot. If you haven't left a review, if you could do that, that'd be a nice 2-year little anniversary gift.
Yes.
If you could leave us a review, that'd be awesome. We'd love when you guys do that. And speaking of reviews, we got another one I'd like to read.
Okay.
This comes to us from our friend Linny T.
Hello, Linny T.
It's short, but very sweet. Okay, and this is all it takes to make our week is a short and sweet review like this. 5 stars, titled Fabulous.
Love it.
Okay. And that's the thing about words. You don't have to say many when you use the right ones. And fabulous, fabulous, one word, but says about 10 words worth of praise to me.
True.
You know, because it's not just great. And no shade to anyone who's left that review, but fabulous. It just says so much.
It's beautiful.
5 stars, titled Fabulous. They write, "You both are just too cute. Love listening to you."
I love it.
End of review.
You are too cute.
That's it. You're too cute. You're too sweet. Thank you, Linny T. That's all it takes to make our week.
Very true.
Thank you so much. Thank you for everyone who's left a review. Thank you in advance for those who are gonna leave a review. We appreciate it so much. Let's celebrate this 2 years with a couple more reviews. How about that?
Yes.
All right. Before we get into the episode, how about a little 90 Day by the way?
Hit us.
Number 1. Ben and Mahogany just won't go away.
What?
Yeah.
I have not heard from them since the season ended.
Okay. All right. Well, the other day, Ben posted a YouTube video. Maybe the most awkward, scripted 9 minutes I've seen in a long time. The video is titled Burnt Asparagus and a Late Night Talk.
Burnt asparagus.
Burnt asparagus and a late night talk. So
how do you burn asparagus?
You leave it on the pan, and it looked like he left it there for a day and a half, just on high. Yeah. So the video is him cooking, and Mahogany comes in to the video. No, they're not together. I saw Teresa's face. It's a split screen.
Okay.
They're on Zoom or YouTube Live or whatever connects them. And he's cooking dinner, and he's like, "Oh, do you want to cook dinner too?" And she's like, yeah, sure. So she goes to her fridge to see what she can make. And they just start talking. And he goes, hey, I have an idea. And it's so scripted. He's like, I have an idea. And she's like, what? He's like, yeah, I have an idea I've been thinking about. People have so many questions for us and about us. They wonder, are we actors? Are we dating? Are we married? Like, what's the truth? So I have an idea. She's like, well, what's the idea?
Oh, my gosh.
And he's like, I think we should start a YouTube channel. And she
Get out.
She goes, a what? And he's like, a YouTube channel, Mahogany. And she's like, oh, okay. Yeah, let's do it. He's like, you think it's a good idea? Yeah, let's start a YouTube channel.
Oh, my gosh.
We can answer all the questions people have. And then the video ends. Why not just answer the questions in that video?
So wait. This was 9 minutes long.
This was 9 minutes of like play, acting, coy. I don't know what we're talking about, but we definitely talked about this before. And they don't answer any questions. I didn't get any answers from that 9 minutes. Why would I tune in for the next 9 minutes?
I think they were trying to do a tease for the YouTube channel. But why would you start a YouTube channel? Just go live on social media.
Just go live Wednesday night. Well, don't go live Wednesday night at night because that's when we're going live. But yeah, so they're starting a YouTube channel. It's called Benjamin and Mahogany. That's the name of the channel. They have 152 subscribers.
Oh, wow.
Right. Wait, do you think that's good?
Well, they just started, and they are kind of irrelevant now.
They were like my favorite couple of the season.
Oh, yeah, but we
a love to hate couple.
Well, yeah, but I think a lot of people hate them because they thought that she was an actress.
Right. Which who knows? I'll give it one more video. That's the only video up right now. 152 subscribers. Only video. Sure, put out another one. Tell me what the deal is. Are you guys in a relationship? Are you not? I'll watch and I'll report back. But it was almost comical the way it was scripted.
Gosh.
I have an idea, Mahogany.
I wonder who wrote it.
Oh, Ben for sure. Ugh. Ben for sure. Okay, that's, by the way, number one.
I can't believe they're trying. Oh my gosh.
Trying.
Are they going to be on the OG? Maybe she'll make it to the States.
I would watch that.
Okay.
By the way, number two. Jibri really doesn't want to get a job. He does not want to work.
Okay.
In the slightest. He'll do anything he can to get by and make money without actually working. So him and Miona just announced their newest way to make money without putting any effort in. Selling the outfits they've been wearing on 90 Day.
Oh, come on.
They started a Poshmark.
Okay.
They started a Poshmark. So
they are selling the used outfits.
The used clothes that they wore on 90. Here's the thing that makes me feel a little better about it. They're not asking crazy prices. You think, oh, here's the coat I wore, $5,000, right?
Well, you can't. If this shirt was $100, it's in a decent shape. You can maybe sell it for $50. It's Poshmark. I know they're wannabe celebrities, or maybe they'll be one day, but they're not that famous yet. No one's gonna be paying that much money for their shit.
I think you're right, but I'm just saying that's for them to realize that and accept that is impressive to me, because I look at Jibri and Miona and go, oh, they think they are the Kardashians.
Well, they're trying.
They think they could sell a t-shirt for $1,000, but the most expensive thing listed is a Nike coat of Jibri's. You want to guess? This is the most expensive thing listed. It's just a regular kind of...
I don't recall him wearing a Nike coat.
I don't remember that either.
I don't know. $150?
Very good. $120.
Oh, wow.
So that's the most expensive thing. The cheapest thing is like a crop top sweater from Miona, $18.
Okay.
So the sad part is it does seem like they're trying to make money, like they need money, because these are priced to sell.
Or you can... And I was thinking of doing Poshmark too, because I have a lot of clothes I don't wear, and I have some that I worn like once, and it's just not my vibe anymore.
Yeah.
It's just sitting in my closet. So I was thinking about it too. Maybe you're trying to make space for more clothes.
Oh, that's true. The one outfit you'll probably remember, the matching pink like plaid jackets they wore to the farm to see grandma. Those sold. They put them up. Those sold.
Like together?
Separate.
Okay.
Price the same. They sold. Want to guess those? And I already told you the most expensive thing.
Okay, 35.
Come on, Teresa.
Really?
Are you buying? Did you buy these? Are you
I
shopping?
did not, but
$38.
Okay.
It's crazy that you guessed that.
I did look into Poshmark because I want to, sell some of my clothes.
But can't you list it for whatever you want on Poshmark, or do they tell you, oh, it's this, it has to go for that?
I didn't get that far, but I think it has to be fair. Like if the original item was like $100, you cannot sell it for $500. Like
why? It's worn by quote unquote TV personality.
But it's not eBay that you bid on shit. You just sell your own old stuff.
Honestly, if those jackets sold for $100, I'd be like, okay, like that makes sense. $38? That seems like a steal.
You know why? Because I can go to Amazon right now and I'm finding
but
brand
Jibri
new
and
for
Miona,
$35.
Jibri and Miona didn't wear those.
Okay, well, it's not like Brad Pitt wore it.
No, it's not. But for them to realize that, I'm impressed by their humbleness.
I think they're trying to clean up their closet.
Yeah.
And it's easier if you are a little famous, because if I put my dress I wore once on Poshmark, I don't know who's going to get it.
Well, that's true. And they're promoting it on Instagram. They have tens of thousands of followers.
They can definitely get rid of anything they want.
Yeah. If you guys are curious, Poshmark.com/closet/Miona_Bell. Check it out. Pick up something for yourself. All right.
Are you ready, Freddie?
Let's talk, Fred. Let's talk about it. That's the plan, Stan. Sunday night, 90 Day Fiance. Season 9, episode 8. Here we go. Let's talk about
Bilal and Shaeeda.
Shaeeda is really starting to get on my nerves. Can I say that?
Yes.
I am not team anyone in this relationship.
I was gonna say it too. Clearly, and we always tell you guys we don't discuss this, so it's we have these pure reactions on the podcast. But yes, I felt the same thing. I mean, Bilal is still annoying. Like I can't stand him.
He takes the cake for worst in the relationship for sure. But she is coming up the rear. She's getting on my nerves a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, what we see here is they're at home. It's Friday, so it's Juma again. Shaeeda's a little upset. She's still not thrilled about how the conversation ended when we saw them last time in the gondola talking about kids, right? So Bilal's clearly getting on her nerves. She thinks, let me take a little space for myself.
Which is fine, but he goes to work. She's at home. Doesn't she have all the space?
Yes. I don't think it's actually about space.
Well, I kind of understand why she doesn't want to go because they are not in the best place once again. And she remembers what happened last time when they weren't in the best place. He left her there literally alone. She was wandering around, alone, wondering why doesn't he introduce her to people? Like why does he just let her be there alone?
And that's what I was going to say is I don't think it is totally about I just need some alone time because yes, she gets it, I'm sure, whenever he goes to work, but she doesn't want to put herself in that position again. And it's almost she's taken a stand for herself. So sure, she has alone time, but that's not up to her. That's Bilal going to work and her being left behind. She gets to take a stand. She gets to take some power when she says, no, you go by yourself. I'm gonna stay home.
Which is an issue for Bilal because one of the things that he's most attracted to her is their faith.
I don't buy that. I mean, I do buy it's a part. Didn't they meet from sliding into each other's DMs?
They did, but I mean, he could tell that she was a Muslim.
Sure, but she couldn't tell how devout.
I think
just by
if
an
you wear the
Instagram.
hijab, you do practice.
Sure, fair enough.
Because I know, like I went to college with a few girls and they were Muslim. Some of them were wearing the hijabs and they were telling me they pray. Some of them weren't. And they said their families are just not that religious and so they don't practice. I mean, they're proud of it, but they didn't cover their hats. They were drinking.
Okay. So then maybe I take it back. Maybe you could tell from a photo.
It's just me based on like
you might be right. We don't know firsthand, but okay. So now he's upset because we should be going to pray. It's Friday. You're telling me you don't want to, but Bilal says it's required of us. It's required that men women, children. It doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, what gender you are. We have to be all in on our faith, because Shaeeda's argument was, well, women don't have to attend every Juma. She explains, well, the way I practice in Trinidad, I don't have to go every Friday. And that's when Bilal's like, no, it's required.
They should probably talk about that, because who requires it?
Right. That's a good question.
I guess the God or whoever.
Allah. Yeah. But seemingly not so. Seemingly it's, and everyone practices differently, right?
Yeah.
I only know
talk about it.
I only know Judaism, but there are different levels to it. You could be Reformed or you could be Orthodox and everything in between. So maybe Bilal's a little more conservative.
Well, not really, because she did pray at home. And I feel like as long as you pray, you do your part.
Yeah.
She just didn't go there. Didn't mean that she didn't say, I'm not going to pray today. Like, fuck that.
Right.
She just said, I don't want to go there. But she did pray herself.
Right. And completely understandable. And so while they're having this conversation, Shaeeda's like, oh, watch out. Watch your hand. Watch your hand, Bilal. I put my pins in the couch. And that was the first time on this episode where I was like, that would bother me too.
That would bother me too. It's dangerous.
It's dangerous, and it's also messy.
It is.
Right? It's a couch. It's not a pin cushion.
Yeah.
So I get it. Maybe in the moment, if you're rewrapping your hijab or you're doing something, you take the pins out. Sure. But that's not where they belong. Take them and put them where they belong.
Imagine you sat on it. Like, yeah, I sometimes sit on the edge of the couch.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, the point of the pin is in the sofa, right? But
well, still.
So I was Team Bilal there. That's not where it belongs.
What I didn't like that Bilal said, instead of just making the argument that it's messy, just
could be dangerous if the kids come over and they start pulling them out and playing with them.
Well, the kids are not babies, but sure.
They're still kids.
But his argument was that the couch was expensive. Those little pins are not going to hurt the couch. If it was a leather couch, I would be like,
right.
Fuck.
Right.
But, come on. But Shaeeda was like, oh, it's not an inflatable couch. Why do you care?
So their
argument was basically over the fact that she did it and she put it inside of an expensive couch, right?
Yeah, well,
not that it might be potentially dangerous, it looks messy, etc.
I think it was more of a control thing. Shaeeda said, ever since I've been here, I do things the way you want.
Yeah.
Right? And I get that argument because there is a lot of control that needs to be settled. So I get that. But at the end of the day, it's not control. It's just common sense of where do you put a pin? Oh, if I make a mess in the kitchen, I should probably clean it up.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's just common sense. It's not really control. So I don't know. I'm glad she started standing up for herself and kind of not necessarily talking back to Bilal, but talking and letting her voice be known.
Because they have to talk.
Yeah, but pick your battles. Because if he's like, oh, why are you putting pins in here? Don't try to defend yourself. Just be like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
This is not where I should be storing my pins.
Again, their argument was over the couch being expensive, not that.
Well, that was his argument.
Well, yeah.
His argument was it being expensive. Yeah, I would have gone the safety argument, if anything.
Yeah, totally. And it doesn't look good. It looks messy. Come on.
Yeah. So he goes off to pray by himself. Shaeeda stays home and she prays. And we learned you wash up.
Yes.
Before you pray, right? You wash your hands, your feet, you wash everything. And Shaeeda chose to wash her feet in the kitchen sink, basically.
Yes.
It's obviously a little messy when you do that, which is okay. That's fine. You clean dishes in the sink and it can get messy. You clean up after you make a mess. That's the point.
Yeah, you don't want the water to be sitting anywhere or on the floor. I'm the same way. I would definitely wipe it or point it out if you did that, but I wouldn't get into this crazy like I wouldn't make you feel bad. I would be like, hey, can you wipe the water? End of the discussion.
Yeah, I mean, so Bilal came home, he saw it, he saw the water everywhere. I don't know how to take this because on one hand I go, is this is this bullshit? Is this all producer driven? Because a day ago, Shaeeda was scared to drink coffee in the kitchen. And now she's just making a mess everywhere and not cleaning it up.
But it's water. Like, if you think about it, if she spilled coffee somewhere, oh shit, it's water. It's going to dry, right? It's not going to destroy anything. I mean, Bilal thinks it's going to destroy his entire floor.
Yeah.
It's not.
What I think she's almost trying to push his buttons at this point.
Interesting.
She made the mess and she left it there because I don't know what day is it now? 77 days to wed. So they've been together 2 weeks, right? She's sick of his shit at this point. She's like, you know what? Let me push his. He pranked me. He brought me to this house. Here's a prank. Here's a little prank for you, Bilal. I flooded the kitchen.
Well, I don't think so. I actually think that she is a little messy.
Okay.
I'm not saying messy necessarily as like she makes a huge mess, but those are little things that would bother some people, including myself, and it wouldn't bother others, right? It's not a big deal. That's why I don't think that's not pushing anyone's buttons. Like, that's a little bit of water, right? It's not like, oh, she left food out and for flies to sit on, or she left like dirty dishes anywhere. Like, it's a little bit of water. Well, that's why I think she just did it. She didn't think about it, as some people wouldn't, and she moved on.
Let's talk about the dishes, because to me, leaving a puddle of water on the counter, to me, that's more offensive than not putting the silverware back perfectly. Because wasn't that the next argument? Bilal opens the drawer, the silverware isn't.
Well, that would bother me. I would literally give you a class.
That's OCD.
I would be like, no, big spoon here, big fork here, small fork here, and knives here, small spoon over there, knives on the side, or in that knife thingy. What do you call it?
Like the butcher block, the knife block. Every fork and spoon has its own spot, and
it has to fit together. The spoon, right?
The big spoons fit together. The small spoons fit together.
Yeah, but they have to fit together.
Right, but that's OCD. To me, that's OCD.
I hate when they don't.
To me, and that's not really OCD. I'm just saying that's more particular, because you close a drawer, nobody sees it, out of sight, out of mind. That's being more finicky than a puddle of water. Yeah, dry that. Take a towel and dry that down.
Yeah.
The puddle pisses me off more than the silverware.
Really?
Oh,
like
far
the puddle,
more.
I would just be, maybe you shouldn't see. That's fine. Like, wipe it off. Like, pay attention to it maybe. But the forks, I would maybe let it slide once. And if I keep seeing that you are not able to put every single piece where it belongs, I would get annoyed, because it's the simplest thing you can possibly do. You see the spoons, put the spoons where they belong. Why would you put the spoons together with the forks?
The worst, though.
Doesn't make any sense.
The worst, though, is when everything is in the dishwasher, and so you have no reference guide, at least for me. Then I start to panic. Wait, was the big spoon far left or was the small spoon far left? And then you lose.
Big spoon, big fork, small fork, knife, small spoons on top.
Yeah. Well, I learn now, but I have that moment of panic where I go, wait, where do the small forks go? Unless there's a reference. So Bilal gives Shaeeda a class on silverware and where everything goes. But Shaeeda tells the camera, which I agree with, this is our home now. Everything Bilal's talking about is a me problem. This is our home now. So I agree. Don't be sticking pins in the sofas and everything has a place in the drawer. But you should discuss your systems now.
Absolutely.
Create your systems together.
No, she should be able to do whatever she wants. But she also should not be messy. If he has a system and it looks nice and it works, let's say for the stupid forks and spoons, just follow it. It's like the easiest thing you can do.
It's not worth getting into an argument over whether the big spoon's left or right.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing to have a system. Like, I love it. We have a system.
But just to reiterate the point, it's our home now. And if in one way that's going to help Shaeeda feel like it's her home is if you guys discuss how you're going to run that home. If she just comes in and Bilal goes, so here's how the dishes are going. Here's where all the silverware is laid out. Like, that's his system, and it's going to make her feel like she's living in his home. So it does need to be discussion, and hopefully it doesn't need to change. Hopefully she's like, yeah, that makes sense. This is easy. I like it. Everything's got its place, but it should be a discussion since it is our home.
No, for sure. Well, we'll see if they start treating each other like a couple who live in the same house together. Because right now, the only thing that I get an idea that they're a couple is that they just call each other a baby. I don't see anything else that I would think that they are a couple.
I agree. Yeah, there's no connection. You don't see a
nothing.
connection. Yeah.
And I'm not saying, oh, they're not making out or anything. No, there is just no connection.
There's no love.
I don't see anything.
Because everything's a facade, just like Bilal's house.
Oh, yeah.
On the outside, you look at Bilal, the way he dresses. On the outside, everything looks so perfect. The inside, when you get down to it, it's the utensil drawer. It's a mess.
That's very true.
Yes. Okay. Let's move on. Let's talk about Emily and Kobe. This is Swell Horses, this segment.
So swell.
So many adorable, nosy little horses.
Every single, like when they walk over to the barn or to the stables, right? Every single shot of like Kobe, Lisa, Emily, there is a horse.
There is
a horse behind them.
Yeah, photobomb.
It's beautiful. I love it. I would love to be photobombed by a horse.
So that's
a big dream of mine.
This is one of those segments that we just skipped a whole bunch of time because I'm pretty sure we left it the whole Kobe feeding nuts, that whole debacle was like 88 days to wed. Now we're 75 days to wed. Things aren't much better, apparently, between the two of them.
Because they cannot communicate. And
they can't communicate.
First, I felt bad for Kobe. Now, I don't feel bad for neither because they both are losing their shit and say things they shouldn't be saying to each other, both of them.
Kobe said one terrible thing. One terrible thing.
Well, no, but you see him being annoyed. Like, you see him, like, slowly losing his shit.
Okay.
And he shouldn't. He should stay cool and talk to her, be like, hey, you treat me like an idiot. Like, I'm the father. Treat me nicely. That they need to have a nice conversation. The second they start talking, they start going at each other.
I agree. Well, tensions are high. It's for Kobe, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, I think, because he's trying here, right? The storyline here is he wants to contribute around the house.
And Lisa loves it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to feel like a lazy guy, even though he can't work. He doesn't have his green card. He wants to contribute somehow. So the best way he can would be to go help out around the farm.
Which is great.
It's great, right? We've seen plenty of 90-dayers not want to get involved in the farm.
Most of them.
Here's Kobe going, all right, let's see what I can do. They take him to the barn. He's a little nervous, and he gets over it very quickly, though, and starts helping out. Lisa shows him how to scoop manure. And the thing that killed me about this entire segment was that Lisa was the one who needed to show him how to scoop manure. Because, come on, Emily.
How to scoop what?
Manure. That's the horse poop. It's called manure.
Oh, I didn't know. I just call it the horse poop.
Yeah. But Emily can't show him?
Well,
because she is so useless that she needs mommy to show him.
Well, did you hear as she was basically telling him what to do, how he should do it and whatnot, she said, maybe I should show you, but it's been a few years.
Yeah. So
it's been a few years.
How about we start with Emily learning how to do it, and then she can pass on her knowledge to Kobe. I just found it so, I mean, it said everything all in that one shot of Emily just standing off to the side overseeing. It's like she thinks she's the boss. She thinks she's the boss. She's not a worker bee. She sits there and tells you what you need to do. She's not going to do it herself, though. She can't even show you how to do it. She needs mom to show you how to do it. It's absolutely absurd.
What's there to show you? Scoop a poop.
I know. That was the other thing. I was like, really? We need an 8-hour training session on how to
scoop the poop.
On how to scoop poop. Yeah. But Kobe does it. He's being a good sport about it. And the whole time you have Emily just barking things from the sidelines. Put more in your shovel, bigger scoops. Don't you want to get it done faster so we can hang out?
And this is where Kobe starts losing his shit because he's like, are you the supervisor or what? She's like, I am the supervisor.
Pick up a shovel and scoop some shit with me or get lost. Who is watching Kobe at this time?
I don't know, probably dad. But Emily goes like, yeah, you should do it. Like, let's just listen to me so you can do it faster so we can hang out.
Yeah, I'd be like,
he's trying to help your mom. Either help or get out of the way.
Exactly.
Like, I agree.
There's zero reason for her to even be
Kobe should have kept his cool because yelling at her, bickering and telling her to shut the fuck up, which we're gonna get to, in front of her mom is bad. It's really bad.
It's bad if mom's not there.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
If mom is there.
And Lisa and the horses are just like...
The horses are like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
This has been a boring farm until now. Thank you.
I just realized that I did it again. I just showed John what the horses are doing.
This is, yes.
But there's...
audio medium.
It's an audio. Yeah. It's an audio thing.
Here's the thing. He freaked out, right? He lost his cool. He said, shut the fuck up because of how tense of a situation was created there. But I don't think it's just this manure that caused him to snap. This was 2 weeks. Like I said, this is now 70-something days to
75.
This is 2 weeks of Emily bossing him around, controlling him. This was the moment he snapped. Right, this was the scoop of poop that broke the camel's back. But he's not just snapping because she's like, "Oh, get more in your shovel faster. Don't you want to hang out?" He snapped because of 2 weeks building up.
True, but they've been arguing a lot, so I think there was some snapping before, maybe not to this level.
No, I don't think. I think this was.
Yeah,
this is the culmination of it.
In front of Lisa. No good.
Not a good look.
Also, Kobe cannot take the smell, but then he says, my dad has a poultry farm.
I know.
Chickens smell too. My grandma had chickens.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole thing, it turned out to be pretty ugly.
Yeah.
Lisa talks to Kobe after Emily kind of storms off, and Lisa says, this is not the way to treat a person. Like, forget, because we can't skip over the fact that Kobe did try to do a little bit of a gender role and gender power dynamic thing by saying, maybe it's an American thing, but a woman making a man feel inferior, like, I'm not used to that. And that's when Lisa says, well, don't make it a woman to man thing. It's a person to person thing, which it is, but more than that, it's an Emily to person thing because Emily is her own animal.
Yeah. No, they need to communicate. She needs to dial back. He needs to calm down. I get it. She's been pushing his buttons, but they just need to communicate.
I don't think he's that out of line, except for his choice of words. He had every right to snap, I think, because look at the situation. He's there bent over shoveling shit, and Emily's yelling at him, not looking at her nails, not lifting a finger. He had every right to be like, you know what, this is ridiculous. How would you pick up a shovel or leave? Yeah. His choice of words were very wrong.
Very wrong.
But his emotion, I think, was valid and warranted. So he just needs to, I think he needs to be more careful with his tone and with his word choice. But Emily was not playing cool.
And once again, they only been around each other in a foreign country for both of them. It was China. They were having fun, right?
It was vacation.
He was working, but he was a underwear model, but he was making some money. I don't know what she was doing, right? Yeah, it was a vacation / he wasn't dependent on her. Right? Now he's fully dependent on her. They have a kid. They don't get along. They live with her parents. It's this whole thing.
Well, it's a completely different dynamic. Yeah, a vacation relation versus now there's something at stake. Yeah. Now there's, I gave this up. I gave my life up to come here to Salina, Kansas, and be, right? There's a lot more at stake, a lot more on the line, a lot more that was risked. So tensions are higher. And we've seen what happens now. They've bubbled over. Kobe, he finishes up, he goes inside, and he sees Emily in the kitchen. He's like, hey, babe. And Emily does not want to be hey, babed.
No, after him telling her to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And Kobe asks Emily how she thinks he feels when she treats him this way. Like, hey, take a look at what you're doing. How do you think this makes me feel? And Emily says, well, Emily tells the camera, saying something like he did in the moment of frustration is one thing. Mm-hmm. What's bad, and what I agree with here, when Emily says he still thinks it's okay. He comes in the kitchen and he doesn't immediately apologize for what he said. And so I agree with Emily there, but he does eventually apologize.
Yes, they both apologize to each other, which I think should have been a start of being nice to each other and communicate. If not for the two of them, for Coben.
I know.
I know I always say communication. And yes, Jen and we have our own little moments when, we don't agree on things, but we talk it through. We don't snap at each other.
If we do, we apologize immediately.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Or
yeah, but again, we talk about it, and that's how I think that's one of the reasons why we have the relationships that we have.
Yeah, we don't let anything build up.
Yeah, and if we didn't talk about things and we're just being pissed at each other in the background, I don't think we would even be doing this podcast, to be honest.
No, you're probably right. So there is this apology, but at least from Emily's side, to me, it seemed half-assed because her apology was like a joking, sorry for talking to you while you were working. Like, she didn't get that what she was doing was actually super annoying.
Well, I also think that she doesn't know how to apologize. So her apologizing, even like this, I think it's good. Because I don't think she ever had
better
to.
Than nothing, I guess.
I don't think she ever had to apologize.
No,
because it seems like her parents just let her be like this.
Complete enablers.
And her sister seems much nicer, much laid back, much more laid back.
And we haven't seen a lot from
No, we
her.
haven't, but from what we've seen.
Yeah.
And I think Emily said it too, that she was the boss. She was the wild one. She was the crazy one who just did whatever she wanted. So
the last thing we see on this segment, Kobe tells the camera, if we get married, she's going to need to listen to me. That's not good either.
But, okay.
They need to
really
listen to
bad.
each other. You need to listen. That's the difference.
But I think, and a lot of us watch this and we get pissed at when the guy says something or the girl says something that's just inappropriate, or we don't live like this in the United States. Like, we try to be equals as we should, right?
Yeah.
But don't forget that some of these people come from a culture where that's normal. The hierarchy is all they know. And so we can only give them as much shit because they don't know anything else.
It's a good point.
I was going to add, for Kobe, who's traveled the world, seems like, he should probably know a little more. But again, if that's how he grew up, if that's how it is in Africa, where he's from, then we can't really hate him for it.
So let me clarify my point then, because that is good and it's a good reminder. I wasn't judging him when I had my reaction to if we get married, she's going to need to listen to me. I was more having the foresight of what that means for the relationship. So it's very true that he comes from a different culture where that's fine. But Emily doesn't. So you need to find that common ground or the middle ground or what's going to work for your relationship. So when I say, ooh, that's not good that he's saying that, it's because I know Emily's not going to fall in line with that.
Yeah.
It's completely fine in his culture, and the women are used to it, right? And that works for them.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's in America now. He's got these other mindsets from his culture. They're not going to fly in Emily's world, so they need to communicate and compromise and figure out what's going to work for them.
And he needs to learn too. Like, if they talk about it and she tells him, this is not going to fly, like this is not how things are in the U.S., you have to respect me. I have to respect you too. But I have to be this mutual respect and us playing equals.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, I hope he'll get there. Same for Mohamed, if he wants to be with Eve and stay here, not to jump over, but that's the same situation.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get it, it's not going to work.
Yeah. One last thing to put a button on it. It's interesting that you can take Coben out of the equation and there's still this power dynamic. Emily's still controlling Kobe.
I think that's just her personality.
It's her. So for everyone that's like, well, she's a mother. She's been doing this for 17 months. That she's got used to her way of doing things. Remove the baby. She's still that way. All right. let's move on.
Jibri and Miona.
So 55 days to wed, so really cruising here.
Yeah.
It's been a week since Jibri found out that the Black Serbs have this big opportunity in Chi-Town. So they're prepping to leave. And I guess this is what I gleaned from this. Tell me what you heard. Jibri agreed to a beach wedding in order to get Miona to go to Chicago.
I didn't get it at this point, but I got it later on.
Okay, because I remember the last episode, I was like, well, what aren't you getting? Beach wedding. and so it seems like now,
He caved in.
He agreed, which if you ever said anything to me in that tone, right away, Therese, I will get you whatever, because that was a possessed person demanding a beach wedding. And so I think he caved in and is going for the beach wedding.
So they're gonna hit the road, and Jibri's like, "You're not bringing your cowboy boots to bring a little South Dakota to Chicago?" And she's like,
"I'm leaving that in South Dakota.
No,
I'll put that up on Poshmark."
Yes, because Chicago's cool.
Speaking of outfits, matching outfits, matching corduroy jackets. This was also the first scene, at least that I noticed, and I'm keeping track, that Miona didn't have sunglasses on her head.
Oh,
she did later. Right. Once she got to the trucking facility, she had sunglasses on, but in the car, no sunglasses.
I think you're right.
And speaking of car, they're taking a 13-hour road trip.
Is it that long?
I looked it up. Rapid City to Chicago, 13 hours, about 13 hours driving. And it took, I think they went overnight because
it's that long.
It was like 55 days to wed, and then once they arrived, it was like 54 days to wed, I think.
Oh.
I'm sure Jibri forces Miona to listen to Black Serbs the whole ride, too. It's like, gotta get those Spotify plays up, babe. Come on, keep it on repeat. 13 hours of Black Serbs.
I thought it was like 5 hours, maybe.
No, 13.
Wow.
Yeah, if my Google mapping is correct. But Miona's actually a little more excited about Chicago than she was when we last heard.
Because Chicago's cool. Chicago is, I think, Chicago, New York, Miami, LA are the cool cities.
That's not why she is fired up. That's not why she's excited.
No, but I'm saying like she should be, because she wanted to travel. She wanted to see America, the cool cities. So it's one of them.
Yeah.
But she's excited because there is a Serbian community.
Yes, which sounds similar to something you've said to me in the past.
Yeah.
They have a large Czech community.
Yeah, the largest Czech community.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense. And maybe Jibri should have led with that.
Yeah.
Because more than David and the rest of the Black Serbs are going to be there. It's like, well, other Serbian people will be there. And that's enticing. I know it is, at least to you. So makes sense.
Yeah, I think Chicago, as any other major cities, they have a lot of communities. But for some reason, the Czechs, as far as I know, the big ones are New York and Chicago.
I don't get Chicago. I don't get middle of the country immigration. I get like, we made it to New York, let's stay here.
I think that's where most Czechs went.
I know.
When they immigrated, was Chicago.
They got to New York and they're like, well, let's keep going.
I think it was because of the work opportunities, but I might be totally wrong.
You could be totally wrong. I think what happens is it only takes a few Czechs, Serbs to go, and then word gets back. Hey, Teresa and the fam are in Chicago.
Yeah.
Let's go there. And then slowly more and more word gets out. Oh, Chicago's the place. And so it keeps growing that community. That's my guess. We have zero idea.
No idea.
Call in if you guys know. A little bit more of a backstory on Jibri and David, though. And their meet cute story when Jibri was making fun of David's accent.
And David still has
a little bit of an accent.
Yeah.
So Jibri was making fun of his accent. So David kicked him in the head and put Jibri in a coma.
For 3 days.
For several days.
And then 3 months later, Jibri started dating this Serbian girl.
Yeah.
Then found out it's David's twin sister.
It's an interesting meeting story.
And then they bonded over music.
Now they're
besties.
Yeah, and I think Jibri's thought is, if David and my relationship could survive after all of that, come on, Miona, you and David can get along, right?
Yeah. I think, didn't they drink each other's blood or something? Didn't
Oh,
they?
I don't think. I mean, perhaps
There was like
they
a
gave
blood
each other
involved
haircuts
or something.
They gave each other haircuts during the
That
baptism
was that.
ceremony.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might. That might be initiation into black service.
Like in Czech,
drinking
we
blood.
say you were like a blood brother or
Yeah.
blood sister if you like cut your hand.
Yeah,
And
This
then
no, this is Godfather
What?
in the Serbian
he's
church.
You were right. He's Jibri's godfather.
Yes, come on,
Yeah,
Theresa.
but I'm saying like in Czech, if you want to be a blood brother or blood sister with someone,
Yeah,
like.
we did that in middle school too,
You
and then
did
we all
too?
got grounded.
I have a blood sister.
Really, you guys mixed each other's blood?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we did that. We cut our hand a little bit and then we shook it.
Oh, that is so not safe. Guys, don't do that. Don't
do that. But I do
don't
have a
mix
blood.
blood.
I have a blood sister.
Oh my gosh, have you been tested?
Tested for what?
All sorts of
Yeah,
blood?
I was like 11.
Okay. We're going to go get tested. Anyways, Jibri and Miona make it to Chicago, and we learn David, a responsible adult, is the owner-operator of a trucking company.
So that's pretty awesome.
That's fantastic.
So he must make a lot of money because we saw a lot of trucks around.
I think he does well. I don't know if his dad owns it and he works for it or something, but
Yeah, Jibri made him sound very cool.
yeah, it's
Because how do you go from rocking with the band, trying to make it, and 2 years later you own something that looks like a successful
that's
trucking
kind of why
company?
I think it might be in the family.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe because, again, if you were going to start it during COVID, you might have 1 or 2 trucks. I don't know how
Yeah.
it really works, but it seems maybe like more it's in the family. But either way, he's got a job.
Yeah.
He's got some stability. He's got a man purse, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You need somewhere to keep all your money.
Absolutely.
He comes out and Jibri's like, look at dad looking like Serbian Tom Cruise. And David and Miona greet each other, which is
they
nice.
hug.
Yeah, it seems nice,
Yeah.
right? And we do learn that when the pandemic hit, Jibri got his commercials driver's license.
Because David was like, you don't make any money. Come over to Chicago. You can't drive this truck.
Yeah.
But the K1 visa got in the way.
It's so funny because David is such a positive influence, it seems like, on Jibri. David's got his shit together. He's encouraging Jibri to go and take his tests and get his license. And then you have Miona like, nah, David's not a positive influence. He's getting in the way of Jibri's dream.
Well, Jibri was saying that he wanted to focus on the music and on Miona, and David saying, you know that you can do both, right?
Of course.
Unless we make it, you can drive and you can play music. You don't drive every single day. I think you get some breaks if you do long haul.
I'm sure. The thing is, Miona doesn't want to be married to a truck driver. She wants to be married to a rock star.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why she's encouraging that. The thing that kills me is Jibri parades around like he's such a hustler. Oh, I'm such a hustler. I hustle so hard, right? You're not. You're living in your parents' home.
And that's what David said.
making beats on GarageBand. That's not hustling. Like real hustling is the person out in LA who's working 3 jobs, waiting tables, doing janitor work during the day, bartending at night, and then when they're not sleeping or working, they're working on their craft.
Yeah.
That's hustling. So sure, to really hustle, Jibri could do the trucking job.
Yeah.
And then in his free time work on his music. But no.
Also, he would be on the road, and I don't think Miona would like that.
No,
Or would she?
Well, he would make money, which you think she would like, but I
Yeah.
don't think she likes the idea of a truck driver. She likes the idea of an artist.
Yes, for sure. But again, as you said, artists struggle.
For sure.
That's how you get somewhere, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Takes hard work. Takes commitment, right? You're not just going to get it handed to you, but Jibri seems to think he might.
He wants the music to take off because he will be able to make way more money.
Okay.
I'm curious to see because I think only successful musicians make a lot of money.
Yes. And if you
Meaning
can...
like famous.
Right. I was going to say, if you can survive on your art, that's rich to the artist. So
Yeah.
even if you only make $50,000 a year playing music or selling your paintings, but you're surviving, you're living off your art, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But yes, the 0.00001% who are millionaires off their art, that's incredible. But to think that you're going to get to that level is good luck.
And I think he hopes that 90 days is going to open some doors.
Exactly. So then the next day, we see Miona alone at the hotel. And I kind of love her composition book laptop cover. That looks like the journal.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. I kind of like it.
But because first I was like, look at her going old school.
I know.
Right?
She's planning her beach wedding while Jibri is at the music studio.
I have to give her kudos on just picking up her phone and calling and asking around. Because that means like her English is decent. I remember when I came to the States, my English sucked. And I got sick within like a couple of months, but like I got the flu.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that bad.
I thought you were saying you got sick at the English language.
Well.
Like, oh, look at you, girl. Look at me putting these sentences together. These rhyme schemes and puns.
I wish, but I didn't. I got sick.
Language.
And it was like strep throat or something. It wasn't the flu. And so my host family.
Yeah, it's probably because you swapped blood with your friend.
When I was 11.
I know.
Or 10. But anyways. And so my host family, they were like, maybe you should call a doctor and go see someone because you don't want this, you don't want the kids to get it if you need like antibiotics and shit.
Yeah.
I was trying to call the doctor.
Yeah.
I could not tell that. I was trying to find words to explain what's wrong with me.
You had strep throat too, so.
But still, they were like, they literally told me they don't understand what I'm saying. They were like, we don't know what you need. Like, come over. And I was like so out of it. I was like, I don't know what to do. I just want to talk to someone. And I told my host family, and eventually they helped me out. Like, I guess they wanted me to be independent. I was like,
you just have to jump.
Yeah.
At some point, if people keep calling for you,
yeah, for sure,
you're never going to do it. You're going to rely on someone else.
But I remember it was such a struggle for me. And like her just doing it, just boop.
Yeah. Well,
good for her.
Good for her. I never questioned her English. It always seemed good from the start. This is something I think she knows she has to do. I don't think Jibri's going to call around for a beach wedding. If she wants a beach wedding, she's going to have to go for the beach wedding. And she calls, quickly learns it's very expensive.
Yes.
Like we've said from day one, though, it doesn't have to be. A beach wedding could be probably the most affordable wedding if you just roll up to a public beach. Here's what I was wondering, though, because she asks about the destination wedding. I was wondering if she was asking about it because she thought it was going to be cheaper than an American beach wedding. Because she's like, oh, weddings in America are very expensive. And then she starts asking about a destination.
Yeah. But then you have to fly everyone there.
Unless you do it in Greece, closer to her country. Right?
Well, then you still have to fly everyone there. Jibri's family?
Just Jibri. You think she's inviting the fam? You think she's inviting Mahala? You think she's inviting David? No.
Well.
So maybe that's what she's got up her sleeve.
Yeah, but you're right. You can just go to a public beach and just do it there. I know people who's done that.
I'm sure Black Serves will perform.
Yeah.
Space Cash can MC. He's got powers. Speaking of, so Jibri rolls into the studio with Space Cash, who is apparently always dressed like an astronaut.
Always.
Which probably came in very handy during the pandemic, just to have that helmet, right?
That is so true.
That's the first thing I thought when I saw that helmet. I was like, he rocked the shit out of that during the pandemic.
What do you do when it's hot out?
I don't know.
What if it's very cold? Do you put a jacket over it or underneath?
Come again? Of the helmet?
No, the costume.
Oh, it's insulated. He goes to space. It's got vents on it, and it's probably the perfect outfit.
What if he goes on a date? Does he like at least open it up?
I don't know. Here's my thought, because the band looks like the Village People on acid. But here's kind of my thought about why Space Cash has the helmet.
Why?
Let's admit, they're all very good looking. Jibri's good looking. David's good looking. They're all very good looking, right? Mm-hmm. Space Cash is probably very mangled. His face is probably atrocious. And they were like, you're very good at music. Just cover that. Just put something over that. And so they probably gave him a helmet to wear.
Well, interesting is that Space Cash is from Iowa.
Yeah.
And that's another thing is like Jibri, so bold, from South Dakota.
Yeah.
Space Cash, so weird, from Iowa. It's not like they grew up in big cities and they're like, I can be crazy, I can be whoever I want. They grew up in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, who's their influence?
That's what I'm asking.
It's got it, maybe David. Although David's like a pretty
David's like a normal dude.
Look compared
he's
to...
He's the most normal looking one out of them all.
Yeah, no pink hair.
Nothing.
No helmets.
He's like a normal, good-looking dude. There is nothing crazy about him.
Right. Yeah, I'm very curious about their influence. And maybe it's the style of music. Maybe a lot of the bands in the space punk or whatever they call their music dress like that. But it's fascinating.
For sure.
Was one word for it. So they go into the studio to record.
Let me ask you this. So they were saying like there is Brandy, the singer, and then Jibri is the co-owner and the main singer, the main vocalist. Space Cash can play any instrument.
Yes.
And then David said he's the best MC. Is that all he does?
Well, an MC, I think, is another word for rapper or singer.
Okay.
An MC is usually used interchangeably with like rapper.
Oh, I thought he's just like, what's up, everyone? How's everyone doing?
He might do that, but then I think he also he's got some bars of his own too.
Okay.
Yeah. So they go into the studio, and David lays down the ground rules immediately. He's like, please set your cell phones and other portable devices to airplane mode. Space Cash will let you know when we reach 10,000 feet, and it's safe to use your devices. Yeah, he was very quick to shut down any cell phone activity. Like, we're going to... Oh, don't you dare.
What?
Don't you... Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that...
Say it. Say it. I want you to say it so bad because you're going to prove my point that I've been saying for months on this podcast. Say it.
This is when we podcast, we don't have our phones around us.
Okay, but more specifically to this. In the studio, you should...
What?
When you're in the studio... What did David ask everyone to do in the studio?
I don't know.
Oh, no, you backtrack. Now, David said, turn your cell phones off in the studio.
Yeah.
Like I've said, Baby was doing every time he was in the studio, and Ari was pissed because he wouldn't. You turn your cell phone off in the studio.
I guess you're right. I mean, I have to
say this, now right? You like when sexy David is saying to turn your phone off, you're like, yeah, we should definitely turn our phone off.
I should have said smash like it's as hot as David.
Yeah. But that's all Baby was saying was, I'm in the studio, I turn my phone off like David said.
And I'm going to add to it that I agree because when I go to the gym, when I take my gym classes, right? Some people bring their phones all the way with them to the workout stations.
Yeah.
I leave it with my keys at the beginning of the gym that you can just put your shit in. I don't bring my phone with me, so I don't get distracted at all.
Don't get me started on phones at the gym. There's 2 new girls that come to our gym now that are FaceTiming people.
I don't
what are you doing? Work out. Focus on your workout.
I don't get it.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Call in on your cell phone. I'll permit it. Call in. Not while you're working out. But if you're one of these people who are on their phones FaceTiming at the gym, what are you doing?
I don't get it.
Are they your trainer that you're talking to? Are they helping you? Is this something you started in quarantine where like they FaceTime you and coach you? Or is it just your boyfriend or girlfriend? What's happening? What are you guys talking about?
I don't know.
Because it's very distracting. I'm trying to focus on getting in and getting out. And I'm like those horses in Salina, Kansas, eavesdropping. And it's very hard to focus.
Yeah, no,
Sorry.
I don't get it. But yes, I put my phone away as well when I don't want to be distracted. Same for work. Like I usually don't look at my phone at all if I'm very busy.
Yeah.
And then I get phone full of messages like, are you okay? You're not replying. I'm like, because I don't look at my phone.
Yeah. So long story short, David makes everyone turn their phone off. But Javi's like, well, I got to text Miona and tell her I'm turning my phone off. And this sets David off. Who just says, why can't you? Or why do you have to text her? Just put your phone on Do Not Disturb. Out of nowhere, David and Jibri just start wrestling. And this is also probably why Space Cash wears a helmet, because he knows his band is very violent.
I wonder who's going to end up in coma this time.
Very true. It's payback. It's payback, David.
Well, let's see, because I think it's very embarrassing. They finally got to the studio. Alex, the producer, is there watching them. What are you doing?
It's also, there's thousands of dollars worth of equipment around, and you guys are rolling on each other.
Yes.
It's going to break something at any moment. You're not going to be invited back. This is not a good first impression for the Black Serbs in Chicago. This is your big moment. What are we doing, guys?
I think the big moment has passed.
I think it's passed. All right. Speaking of moment, let's take a moment. Let's pause. Let's pause for a break. When we come back, it's going to get juicy. It's going to get juicy, Teresa. All right. We'll be back in a second. And we're back.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, Teresa. All right. Shall we talk about Eve and Mohamed?
Let's do it. One of my favorite couples.
So I always knew it, but it really hit me on this episode. These two have zero connection.
Zero.
Like we always kind of joke though, yeah, it's like mother and son, but like I have more of a connection with my mom than these two. They're strangers. These two are basically, when I watch them, I'm like, oh, you have zero connection.
Zero. And I don't know if it's his culture that he doesn't want to be too lovey-dovey or he isn't, but they bang.
Right. But you would never know.
It's because he is her second child. I've said it before. You guys message us saying literally the same thing. She cooks for him. She probably cleans for him. She takes care of him. And he's just there.
You will tuck me in. I'm telling you, even mothers and sons have more of a connection than these two.
Yes.
It's very strange.
Speaking of feeding him, she made breakfast for them, right? She's like, oh, I feel bad. I feel a little bad how last night went. I feel bad that he felt heard and unheard. Right.
If you guys don't remember or didn't watch, this is the morning after the wine night with the girls that Mohamed was invited to. And so things were a little awkward, and this is the morning after that.
And so to make up for this, Eve is going to take him to the local mosque.
Yes.
So he can feel like he belongs and he can find his own peeps, his community. Because he hasn't been to the mosque since he got here. Got to the States.
And Eve's never been to a mosque. So
why would she?
I'm just pointing it out because what's to follow is clearly someone who's never been to a mosque, maybe never even heard the word mosque before, because she seems very unaware of his culture, his religion, and what's required of it.
Yes.
Because Mohamed says, when we go, you have to cover your hair. It's a sign of respect. Mm-hmm. And Eve goes and covers her head, but she's like, I feel like a nun or something.
Come on, Eve.
Wrong religion. Eve.
Yes.
Wrong.
I think they need to just find the middle ground. She needs to do a little more to make him happy, and he needs to require a little less to make her happy.
I don't think wearing a head wrap at a mosque is too much to ask.
No, it's not. But I'm saying they need to meet each other halfway. It's like he complains about her dressing up this way, doing this and that, and then she complains about not even a hijab, putting
it's just a head wrap.
Yeah, a head wrap on. It's like she feels like a nun. It's like, just roll with it. And Mohamed just needs to dial back a little bit, because I'll tell you this, I don't think they'll make it.
Oh, if they make it, well, I don't even know.
I don't think they'll make it.
I have to do a lot of questioning about things because it makes zero sense for them to be together. But I understand her not feeling comfortable with the head wrap. She probably feels like an imposter, because I imagine I've had friends come to temple when I was growing up, and I would go to temple, and they would, or even at my bar mitzvah, when my Christian friends, my Catholic friends, they would wear the yarmulke. I imagine they probably felt like, oh, this is weird. Why am I doing this?
Yeah, but at least it's for the guys. You guys get a tiny, tiny hat that you can barely see, and the ladies don't have to do anything, as far as I know.
Not at my temple, more.
Yeah, more like Orthodox.
Temples.
Yeah,
yes,
I know like they have some sort of a headpiece,
but I get the, oh, this is weird or this is uncomfortable.
They need to find some middle ground where they're gonna meet each other halfway, because I don't think she should change. I don't think he should change, but I think they both need to change a little.
I think it's a great point. I think that's where they're at. We'll see shortly. She does go out for drinks.
Yeah.
And Mohamed breaks my heart with what he has to say.
I know.
But he wasn't keeping her at home. So it seems like there is some compromise.
Yeah.
Before we get to that, they go to the mosque and they separate into the male and the female section. This surprises Eve, right? She clearly has not done too much research.
She's surprised by this segregation of men and women. It's like, as you said, you literally know nothing about the culture.
Yeah.
This is one of the basics that I knew.
Have a conversation with your fiance. And this is on Mohamed too. You should
Yeah.
If she's not curious, you should maybe try to
For sure.
encourage some conversation over it so she knows what she's doing. She doesn't feel like she's a fish out of water when she gets there. You could say, hey, just so you know, here's what's going to happen.
Yes.
Like, I think I would tell you if we were going to temple, hey, here's what's going to happen. Or if I was going to your church, I would hope you would give me a little play-by-play.
My what?
Church. I mean, I know you don't go, but you did growing up.
No, I did not.
You got baptized.
Yeah, by accident. I've never been to the church with my parents. I had to go with my grandma when she was babysitting me.
Okay.
But doesn't mean I did anything. My grandma made me hold my hands in the prayer.
Oh. Well, when I've been to church, my friends would tell me about communion. Here's what's going to happen, right?
I don't know anything about that.
All right. Well, I'll let you know. I'll fill you in.
Yeah, I love what I love about Europe and all the old churches. I love the architecture.
Yeah.
So I have been to some of them, the cathedrals, because it's gorgeous.
Sure. We always go to when we travel, we always go to the churches.
Yeah.
Whether it's La Sagrada Familia or in Prague.
Yeah, but it's like we go because of the architecture, because of the history.
Yeah.
We don't go to
We're
pray.
not going
And
to
I'm
pray.
not cheating on praying or anything. I'm just saying I definitely didn't grow up religious. My parents are non-religious.
Yeah.
The only one who is my grandma, who also baptized me.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about it, so I could not tell you. If
Okay.
you went to the church,
Well,
I would not know what to tell you. What you
And
should
that's
do.
fair then. You're just as ignorant than I am.
Yes.
But I would hope that in the different circumstances, I would tell you what to expect, or you would tell
absolutely.
me. And this is what I would hope. Here, it didn't happen. What we do learn.
I was just going to tell you, I've been to a synagogue way before I met you. We have a synagogue in my town that was turned into a museum.
Well, that's not going to a synagogue then.
And I had my first flute concert there.
Okay. Well,
My
that's not.
first and only.
That's not going to. I rapped at my temple.
Look at you.
Me and my friend, shout out to Ross, not friends anymore. But
Who names their kids Ross?
what are you talking about? Your favorite show is Friends.
I know, it's so ridiculous.
But we were the troublemakers in temple, and we're not.
Oh my gosh.
We were not very engaged in Hebrew school.
Okay.
So we created our own rap duo, Jutang Clan.
You did not.
Yeah, and we actually rapped at a Friday night service.
You did not.
Yeah, we rapped at a Friday.
Wu-Tang Clan.
Instead of Wu-Tang.
Stop it.
Yeah, I wish I could remember what the rap
I
was.
wish you told me this way before.
We had shirts and everything.
No, you did
Yeah,
not.
we performed at our temple, Teresa. Anyway,
The Wu-Tang Clan.
Jutang Clan. I mean, it's probably one of my first puns.
This is one of my favorite things about you.
I can't believe I've never told you about Jutang Clan.
You never told me about Wu-Tang Clan.
I can't believe they let
and
us
you know,
do
I
that.
love Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
So I cannot believe that you never told me about Wu-Tang Clan.
I can't believe they let us get away with. Like, they encouraged it. They were like, "Yeah, okay, at least you'll." Maybe it was like a historical rap.
Did you
or
rap
something.
about Judaism?
That's what I'm thinking. We must have rapped. Like,
What
yeah.
is Ross now?
We're
What is
like
he up to?
we're like the original Hamilton. We're like the Jewish Hamilton. We were rapping history.
What is Ross up to now?
He's in California doing something.
Maybe you should hit him
Get
up.
the band back together.
Yeah, get the Wu-Tang Clan back together.
Ross, if you're listening, holla at your boy. That's probably how I ended my raps. All right. Let's move on.
I can't take this.
All right.
I'm gonna have to. I almost feel
You can talk to my mom about this.
Yeah, I think we have to stop podcasting now. I have to lay down and process what I was just told.
Okay, let's bring it back to the show because it's all right. We have to talk about something sad and emotional now. Okay, when Mohamed talked about his childhood, my childhood was very different. Okay, I was rapping.
You were in the Wu-Tang Clan.
I was in the Jutang Clan. Mohamed was also very religious, as I was, but he went and prayed every day, and his father was very religious, so they would go every day and pray. And then his father died
That's very sad.
when he was 14, and it was sad. Yeah, he got sick. His dad got sick, went to the hospital, and within a couple of days passed away. And obviously, this had a huge impact on Mohamed. And obviously, that's why he's so religious today, I think, is because that's how he stays connected to his dad. Every time he goes to pray, he feels this connection to his dad.
Did you see the guy, not Rafa, but the guy with the Ninja Turtles face mask over his nose?
Yeah, he wasn't wearing
It looked the clown noses.
Yeah.
That's what he was wearing.
Yeah, he needed to pull that
I'm
down
like,
a
dude,
little.
why? Like, either take it off or put it on properly.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, he needed to pull that down a little bit.
Ninja Turtles.
They finish praying, and Rafe asks Eve her thoughts. How was her first time praying at the mosque? And she says, it's nice to learn and get more information. Mm-hmm. And she tells the camera, it's nice Mohamed has community here. But it worries me. It worries me, Teresa. He's going to want me to convert.
Did you see when she said, it's nice to learn? Mohamed was like,
uh-huh.
Like his face looked like it like lit up. But that's not what she want to do. She does not want to convert, which is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To each their own.
Be yourself.
They leave, and Mohamed's like, oh my God, babe, that was great. Here's what I wonder. He says, oh my God. He says, oh my God.
Well, did they have a God?
Oh, but oh my Allah, wouldn't they say?
That's not a saying.
I know, but I just found it interesting.
I say oh my God too, and I'm not religious.
I know, but I just found it interesting. That's all. I'm just picking up on these things. I thought maybe you might have insight into it, but
I don't.
Just trying to make it about
Because
yourself.
I love when he says, oh my God, maybe you could convert to Islam.
Yeah, she comes right out.
2 minutes after she said she hopes he's not going to ask her to convert.
She comes right out and says, no, I don't have plans of converting.
He's disappointed, and then he says something that, again, culture, but he's like, she needs to sacrifice more for me. I wouldn't marry a woman who wouldn't prioritize my needs.
Yeah. And again, I'm not going to judge him because he's not wrong in that feeling if he finds a partner who can support that feeling. And Eve's not that person. So it's not right for him to change her, to literally convert her so that she does what he wants. But it's not wrong for him to feel like, oh, I want to be with a Muslim woman.
I wonder if he says things like this to her face, because every single time he says something ridiculous, it's in the testimonials, in the talking head.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure he tells her things, but would he tell her like, I wouldn't marry you if you don't prioritize my needs? Like,
I don't know. I don't know. I believe he might. The way he was that forward about the bidet.
That's
like,
so true.
You will get it done. Like, I think maybe he would tell her.
Yeah, I think you're right. I forget about that. So good.
So it's nighttime now. Eve's getting all done up because she's going out to meet her friend Tatiana. And here's what broke my heart.
Oh, I know.
Mohamed's like, oh, you're going out and I'm staying home? He goes, Theron isn't here. We could have a nice dinner, watch a movie.
Which sounds really good.
And you're going out. Yes. Yes. He's like, are you going to drink with your friend? And she goes, it'd be nice to have a glass of wine. It'd be nice, you know. Oh.
I felt bad for him.
He just wanted to have a date night.
Yeah.
Come on. You got the house to yourself. Be a couple kids. Get a little nasty.
Yeah, especially the first 90 days. I get it. You have friends. We all have friends. I mean, not John and I, but everyone else has friends, right? They can wait a little bit. You need to get to know him, spend time with him, so you can decide if this thing's gonna work.
Yeah, you guys have a limited timeline. You should be spending as much time together as possible so that you can make the right informed decision.
Yeah.
If you feel the need to go see your friend on day whatever, pretty early into this 90 days, that says a lot.
Or go see your friend next time you drop him off at the Muslim center. Like, seriously, let him do his own thing and meet some friends, and then you meet your friend. Like, I didn't like that she did that. And I get it. You want to vent to your friend, but you need to get to know him. And so far, you guys, like, he's like your, not even adopted son. He's like a foreign exchange student that you feed and you say hi to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no connection.
No connection.
And you're giving up precious time that you could be making a connection.
Yes.
To go have drinks with Titiana over here. Right?
At Star Brothers with 2 R's.
Okay. Could production have picked a noisier
Oh my gosh.
restaurant?
That's what I thought.
I'm leaning in to try to listen to what they're saying. I'm like, it is
So loud.
so props for an authentic dinner, I feel like. Maybe production was like, oh, we want to go here. And Eve was like, they don't have the spicy margaritas there. We're going to Star's restaurant or whatever it's called, right?
Star Brothers.
So, because a couple margaritas hit that table fast. And that is not the wine you were talking about, Eve.
And Eve is just venting to Tatiana about all the rules and about the mosque. And Tatiana is like curious what he thinks of them. And so Eve tells her, he felt judged and he felt offended. And I like that Tatiana kind of takes an ownership. Well, she said, I take an ownership. Well, she said that she probably shouldn't have, or like she didn't mean to offend him. But she said this is how we are used to. We talk about things like this.
That's fine, but that's not
just made them
that's
ignorant.
not a normal circumstance. Like, she's like, oh, this is what we normally talk. Well, that's not a normal circumstance to have not only just a man, but a Muslim man there who you've never met before.
And that's what yes. But I feel like maybe they're the type of people, if there is a new dude, they're like, whatever, I'm just going to be ourselves and talk about shit like this.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it was right.
Context is everything.
I'm not saying it was right.
We talk a certain way to each other when it's just the two of us.
Yeah, or your mom.
What?
I'm saying, or your mom.
Right.
Accidentally.
I'm not even going to bring my parents into it because we're pretty candid with my parents. But if we were at a work event and a boss was there, we're going to talk differently. You talk differently depending on who you're. And so for Tatiana to be like, well, that's how we always talk. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
She goes, we're not bad people because we talk about sex. True, but you didn't just talk about sex. You kind of interrogated him. You watch porn?
Well, they're trying to be the cool friends who would watch out for Eve. But yeah, like that was aggressive. I would not take it from your friends. I would be like, you guys are assholes. I'm out of here.
Yeah. And she's like, Tatiana's like, I just don't want to lose you, right? She's playing this whole, I don't want to lose you as a friend. Well, then maybe don't talk to her fiance like that.
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying, like, I think she said she takes an ownership of what she said and may have gone too far. Like, I think she realizing it because she's also realizing that if that's going to keep happening, she's not going to really see Eve.
Right. And her whole fear of, I'm just worried he's controlling you. He's at home. You're sitting with her, crushing margaritas. Clearly, he doesn't have that much control.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she wouldn't be there, or she'd be there saying, I can only have Diet Coke.
Yeah. Or she would be there with him.
Or she'd be there with him, right? So you don't have to be that nervous.
Again,
Tatiana.
he is trying to have control. He is trying.
A little bit, sure.
But that's his culture, and it's all he knows. And I really don't think they're going to make it because I think based on his level of religion, he needs someone who is the same way.
Yeah. I'm just not going to
understand.
I'm just not going to accuse him of being that controlling if she's out there by herself with her girlfriend crushing margaritas.
True.
And he's at home by himself and all he wanted to do is have a movie night. Like, come on. He's not that controlling.
You're right.
Okay. Ari and Bini.
Ari and Baby.
This was interesting.
Okay. Do you think it was scripted?
I have to think it was scripted. And I'm going to show you how ignorant I am. Well, let's get to it. Let's get to it because the Ari and Baby, they're going to Baby's new MMA gym.
Okay. Is it MMA or AMA? Because that's what the Charles' shirt said.
AMA is the brand name of that gym. I don't know what Ask Me Anything gym. I don't know what it stands for. MMA, mixed martial arts. That is the style.
So I got it right.
Of combat, right?
Okay.
So Ari apparently found this gym for Bini, which is surprising. It shows that she is supportive of him in this venture.
Yeah, because he wants to be an MMA fighter.
We heard at dinner.
Yeah, but the gym is like 45 minutes away, which is not that crazy, but it's not.
It's okay. He can't drive.
Yeah, I was gonna add that.
She has to drive him, and put something soft down on the ground because this might drop your jaw here.
Did you look up how much?
No.
Oh.
When Ari said, "I'm going to start working," Okay.
Well, she got a job.
She's like, I'm going to start working at least online. She says, yeah, she got a job. She tells us later doing social media.
For her friend's social media company
I
or whatever.
wonder if it's the travel company.
Oh.
If she's doing social media for the travel company.
But if you do social media, you still need to be behind your computer, not at the playground with your kid.
She's like, I do it on my phone.
Social media, and I never knew it until I started working with social media people. There is so much strategy behind it and how they do things, how all the algorithms and all that shit.
Everything is pre-scheduled,
everything
pre-post.
has literally their purpose. I love it because you look at it, people who don't know look at it, it's like, yeah, it's a social media post, who cares, right?
It's content calendars,
oh my gosh,
strategy,
so there's
hashtags.
so much that goes into that. And her being at the playing ground, chasing Abby, trying to be on her phone, that's not how you do that job.
Guys, follow us at Married to Reality Pod on Instagram, speaking of social media, because we're trying to grow that thing.
Yeah,
and we don't know what we're doing, so help us out there. So they get to the gym, AMA gym. Charles giving them a tour, the bags, the cage. Bini's loving it. So they test him out a little bit. They want to see his skills. And he delivers. Charles is pretty impressed.
How much do you think you pay for that gym if you train there?
It's got to be a lot.
That's what I thought, because it's like a really nice gym.
Really nice gym. It seems like an open kind of gym in the sense that Charles said you have to come 2 to 4 hours. So it's not like you're paying for a class or 3 classes
Plus,
a week,
it's New
right?
Jersey. I mean, I pay for my classes for like unlimited classes at my gym, and it's a really nice gym. We lift weights.
Yeah.
I pay $180 a month.
A month?
Yeah.
Okay, you know we have a free gym at our apartment, right?
But there is no coach who yells at you and tells you to do better.
True. I can yell at you. I'll give you a deal. I'll yell at you for $90 a month.
We tried that. I tried following you at the gym and you hated it because you said you didn't get any workouts done.
I had to focus on myself. I couldn't be yelling at you the entire time. I had to internally yell at myself.
But I love my gym. You get really pumped up. They tell you how to do it right. Even when you pull your back a little bit, they still tell you how to do it right.
This must be, I would guess, a few hundred a month.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to say at least 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Because I had, before the pandemic, I worked out with a personal trainer. She was way too expensive. I only did it for a few months. And that was twice a week. And she asked for $350 a month.
Jeez. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, I only did it for 2 months, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next day. So Bini's been going to the gym the past week. He's got a fight set up soon. And so they're heading back to the gym. Ari's dropping him off. And we see Charles training another fighter, a female fighter, Melissa. Okay. And then we cut and we see Ari. She's doing her
work,
social media work at the park. Right. And she finishes up, and 3 hours later, we see her heading back to pick up Bini.
And she walks in, she sees Melissa, literally asks someone at the gym if they can watch Abby, and she just storms right in there. And her makeup looks wild again. Like, she looks like a crazy person.
Ari does?
Her makeup and her hair.
She's got crazy eyes makeup on.
She does it sometimes. Like, sometimes in the testimonials, she looks so nice. Like, her makeup is very minimal. Her hair is nice and calm.
There are the many faces of Ari.
Yeah, but she had her crazy face on again.
Yeah.
It looked like she slept with that makeup for like a week.
Yeah.
And she just storms in and she's like, what is this?
Yeah, it was her war paint. Okay. So you asked if I thought it was staged.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about MMA. I really don't. I don't even watch it.
No, me neither.
Is it normal for a guy and a girl to spar?
I think so. Because as Melissa said, and I agree, she said, equal right, equal fight, that it should be equal.
But, okay, and I agree with that.
Because they're not fighting, they're sparring.
I agree with that. But how is it equal for a 100-pound girl to grapple with a 200-pound guy? How is that equal?
Well, because she's good.
If they were both, I guess, are they equal talent? Like, are their skill levels equal? So that's why it's equal?
She's an MMA fighter.
But so is Bini, and he's twice.
He's not. Bini's trying to be. She is.
I guess. And again, I'm not judging it. If it is equal, then sure, it doesn't matter what the gender is. I just don't know. If we were to grapple, that's not equal. I weigh twice how much you weigh. Not that.
I can pick you up.
I just don't think that's equal. But you're right. If their skill level is equal, then it's equal.
But also, I think they're the same height, more or less, right? Yes, Bini is a little bigger,
He's ripped. He's huge.
Yeah. But they're sparring. I think that's fine.
Okay.
Again, I like what Melissa said. Equal right, equal fight.
I like that it rhymes. I just don't know that if it's true. I don't know that it's. I really don't know that it's true.
But again, they're not fighting each other.
Still, is he prepping? Is he training to fight a 115-pound girl next week? Because I would want to spar with someone who is equivalent to my
But I think
challenger.
he trains with other people too. But I think Melissa is one of them because Ari said every single time I pick him up, he's sparring with guys. And now there's a girl and he didn't tell me.
And that's it. She comes in, dramatic music's playing. So you didn't think to tell me you'd be training with a girl?
Just like laying on the floor or like good laying, but what did they do?
They're grappling. They're
grappling. I didn't know the word.
She has full make. She's got a full lip and eyeliner on. You have a boner and you didn't think to tell me?
She was like, you go to the gym with fake eyelashes? I mean, if you put fake eyelashes on, they last. So you don't take them off before the gym.
Here's why I kind of think it's fake, aside from the matchup that was Melissa and Bini. Ari's freaking out, but Charles is there, a camera crew's there. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, nothing, because she would kill Ari.
No. I mean, Ari's freaking out because Bini's with a woman. What's going to happen?
Well, she's afraid that, he might like that grappling. Maybe he's going to slide into her DM later, you know? I don't think she thinks anything would happen at the gym. Charles is like, this is too much negativity. Everyone out.
It was bold of Ari to verbally attack a MMA fighter like Melissa. Like, Ari would be tapped out in a second.
I thought that if Ari just pushed her or anything, Melissa would have killed her.
It reminded me, sorry, I know we normally do Office references, but it reminded me of the $100 Baby episode of Always Sunny, where cut to next week when Ari's like snorting steroids and getting ready to fight. Remember when Sweet D was gonna box the owner's daughter?
Oh yeah.
That's what we have to look forward to next week on 90 Day. Yeah. That's the segment, though.
That's the segment, because they're arguing outside, and that's about it.
I think Benny's going to have to find a new gym, if I was going to guess.
But not that I would freak out, but I would just be like, why did you tell me you train with a girl? Why are you training with a girl? Explain. Like, I would want to know, because as you said, I get the equal right, equal fight, but I feel like, honestly, I almost feel like that's a conversation. You come home from the gym, I'll be like, oh, so how was your session? And you'll be like, yeah, me and Melissa are progressing.
Our relationship is it's embarrassing. If I took up MMA fighting and I came home,
you're too much of a baby.
But imagine, that's emasculating. If I came
I
came home and you're like telling me how it was, and I was like, so they paired me up with a girl.
No, but you would be like,
oh, you suck.
I was sparring with Melissa. She's a great MMA fighter. She's been doing this for a while. I'm learning from her. I would be like, oh, cool.
Okay. If they, I don't know.
But if you didn't tell me
I think it makes it more of something.
For me, what I would think is like, you didn't tell me because there is something going on.
I guess.
Right?
But what's to go on? You drop me off and you pick me up. It's not like I'm sneaking off with her to a hotel.
True. But again, I think that should be a conversation. Like, not even, oh, I have to tell my wife, but it's like, oh yeah, my gym session was great. Like, me and Melissa did this and me and Melissa did that. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, maybe
if it came up naturally to be like, I just want to tell you,
that's what I'm
my
saying.
sparring partner is a girl. That almost seems more suspect. Like, okay, why are you telling me? Like, do you feel guilty?
No, but I feel like I always share with you everything a lot.
Yeah.
I share a lot.
Yeah.
And so that's something I would tell you, not thinking anything bad of it.
I guess. We'll
but
see.
I lost her shit.
We'll see. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
All right. Last couple.
One more to go. Patrick and Thaís. And these
Thaís.
guys are 87 days to wed.
See, they're right at the start. So they're alone for the first time in the Tesla. It is their first date night without John. And Patrick has some news. Okay, they're going to be moving to Dallas very soon because we learned Patrick manages sales teams all over Texas. So he's going to be opening up an office in Dallas.
Nice.
Thaís is excited. She thinks it's going to be a good move. She thinks John's not coming.
Wrong.
Oh, sweet Thaís. John is definitely coming, and we'll be living with him.
And Patrick's like, we can start fresh in a new city with John.
Here's my note. Thaís is no longer excited.
Yes. And I almost feel like it should be good because now she's living in the house he lived in with his ex.
Yeah, they get to start fresh with John.
Plus the new house looks fab. We'll get there.
They get to the restaurant, and I loved how Patrick's like, mac and cheese. It's short for macaroni and cheese. It's like, no shit. Like,
it's such an American thing. I've never had mac and cheese before.
But it's short for macaroni and cheese.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know mac and cheese was short for macaroni? No. Do you know that
when I moved here.
Do you know that burger is short for hamburger? A burger?
Yes, hamburger.
Fries? It's short for French fries?
Yes, but I didn't know it when I moved here.
I don't think, but does it make a difference?
We don't eat mac and cheese in Czech.
Okay, but if I
said...
No
one ever is going to serve you mac and cheese.
That's not my point. Does this make a difference to you? This is mac and cheese. Or this is macaroni and cheese.
I learned eventually because if you get into a restaurant...
No. I'm not asking. Yeah. I'm just saying. Do those two things mean separate things to you? Did you know what macaroni and cheese was, but didn't know what mac and cheese was?
No, I just didn't know what it was.
You didn't know it either. That's my point. So the fact that he's like, this is mac and cheese. It's short for macaroni and cheese. It's like, those two things are the same, and they both mean nothing to me.
I think that was fine. He said it.
I think it was just, we're making something out of nothing. I just think it's hilarious. There's no difference.
No, but she should know because at the restaurant, it's just called the mac and cheese.
It'd be like if you said, my name is Pat. It's short for Patrick. It's like, no shit. It's obvious.
Well, it's not that obvious because some people's name is Ted, but their real name is Edward.
That's why I didn't use that example. Okay?
I think it's good. He told her and he said macaroni is the shape of the pasta, which is true. Yes. Love it. Tell her.
Okay.
Educate her.
Okay. Speaking of education and conversation, did you notice he was speaking strictly English to her the whole time, and she was speaking Portuguese? Found that interesting. They weren't speaking the same language.
No, but she needs to learn English. Like, he can speak Portuguese.
Oh, I don't think it's bad.
If she wants to live here, she needs to learn.
I think it's probably great that he can speak purely English. I think it's a good thing. Yeah. He can speak purely English. She completely understands.
Yeah.
And she can speak back because it's easier to understand.
Yeah, for sure.
When we were in Czech the first time, I'd be sitting in the back seat. You and your dad would be speaking Czech, and you would turn around to translate. Like, yeah, I got it. But I couldn't speak it, but I could understand it.
Yeah.
So they're talking.
A little bit.
Come on. So they're talking, and Patrick thinks it'll be good to have John in the house, which I didn't totally understand. He's like, Thaís is brand new to the States. So John will be able to help, especially since Thaís can't work. Like, does that just mean monetarily?
I think in general, and he said it later, he's like, we grew up basically poor and in like an unhealthy environment, right?
Yeah.
Having John now, it helped him a lot. He was there for him, so he's not going to kick him to the curb now. No, I mean, eventually, he'll need to move out.
I get that, but when he was like, John will be able to help, you're brand new to the States, so he can help. What is he going to help with that Thaís can't help with, aside from financials, which maybe that's what he meant.
Help him out, yeah.
But don't get $1 million house then if
that's the
you
thing.
need help with
did you see John's car? It's like an old car. He's not the nice Tesla like he has.
So I wonder if John's even paying the mortgage.
I don't think he is.
That would be an issue.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe the worst thing said on this episode. Maybe the worst thing. Patrick says, if we go to Dallas and John's not with us, we're all alone. You're not alone. You're with each other.
Yes.
That was To me, that was a fuck up.
Yes, but I don't have siblings, so I don't really understand. But if you have such a big bond with someone who's been there for you at your lowest, you're not just gonna let him go.
Then say that. Say, I'll really miss my brother. I need him in my life.
And I feel like
don't tell your fiance you're gonna be alone if you're only with her.
He means it like no family. Like they wouldn't have anyone around.
All right, maybe you see it differently. And I get that. But
yeah, because
Austin's
for me,
3 hours away.
True, but for me, it's like, yeah, I love being alone with you. We don't need anyone else. But we don't have any dramatic past, right?
Right. No, they clearly, Patrick said, we had a tough upbringing. And John's the one who understands it.
And I think John has some issues. I think he does. And I think Patrick keeps him in the line.
Yeah, I think he's dealing with some things.
Yeah, for sure. And I just, as a brother, he doesn't want to leave him. And
but say that then too. And maybe you don't want to blast it on national TV. But I hope you at least tell Thaís, hey, John's been through some shit or he's going through some shit and he really needs me and he needs my support. And you would hope Thaís can understand that. And if Thaís can't, because you want to talk about tests or pranks or whatever, if Thaís can't accept the fact that, hey, I got to be there for my brother.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he'll end up in a bad situation. Mm-hmm. If she can't understand that, well, then you don't want to be with her.
Yeah, for sure.
Because family is so important.
And it's moving day.
Okay, it's moving day. So a week later, they're packing up the house, and Thaís goes, I love this house. I hope I like the house in Dallas too. How has she not seen the Dallas house? It's, like I said, it's 3 hours. It's a 3-hour drive from Austin to Dallas. You didn't go before you bought it?
Okay, don't forget, it was 87 days to wed. Now it's a week later. I don't think he bought the house in the past week and a half and decided to move.
You didn't send pictures?
I don't know. Maybe he wants to be a surprise, but I'm pretty sure he bought that house a while back. You don't just buy a house and decide to move within 1 week.
You don't, but he made it seem fast. He's like, we found people to buy this house. It seemed like it was a very accelerated timeline.
Yeah, but I don't think it happened that week that she came.
Okay. I feel like I would at least drive her. Again, it's 3 hours. It's not like it's 13, like Jibri and me.
Yeah.
Hop in the car. Let's go. Let's see the house before John shows up. Let's go take a look at it.
Yeah. Oh, at the same time, like he bought the house, and so I'm sure she'll like it.
I thought it was a little interesting that it seemed like she didn't even see pictures of it. I hope she at least saw pictures.
Who knows?
But
she's not paying for anything, so.
They hit the road, and I'm embarrassed to admit, I didn't realize how easy it would be to have sex in a Tesla. Like they were getting
drives for you,
I
would still be nervous, but they were making out for quite a bit, and
they were
eyes off the road.
Eyes off the road. I think you have to touch the steering wheel every once in a while to let. I don't know. I've never been in a Tesla, but I've heard. I think you have to touch the steering wheel to let it know you're paying attention.
Oh,
but I'm sure there are workarounds.
Yeah,
it's
a nice Tesla.
It's beautiful. So they arrive at the house. John is already on the couch, although no beer in sight. Did you notice he wasn't drinking?
He was not.
He was like, new house, new John.
But I'm telling you, I think he has some issues, like something.
Like herpes?
No, but something deeper.
But you
like
saw
some
that,
demons.
Right?
What?
He either got punched in the face or he has
herpes. He has herpes.
Oh, yeah, the herpes? Oh, yeah, I saw the herpes. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So he's there. They arrive. Thaís is not thrilled with the new house.
The new house looks very clean and modern. Apparently, it's a new house, actually.
Like new construction.
And she has a problem with it being small. But apparently, it's bigger.
It's just split over 2 levels, so it's not as expansive.
As expensive? As expanded?
Expansive.
Oh.
It's not as expansive. So say you have 3,000 feet. Now you have it 1,500 as opposed to 3,000 spread out. So it feels smaller. It's not in actuality. My issue is her argument. Mm-hmm. Because she's coming across like a gold digger.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's saying, I don't like this house as much. It seems smaller, right? If you want to argue about John living there, fine. That's a valid argument. That's a fair argument. You're trying to start a life together. You're trying to have some privacy. That's a fine argument. But don't walk around saying, the other house was so much bigger and more beautiful. You look materialistic. You have a solid argument in John being there.
Oh, yeah.
Don't start arguing about the size of the house and which one's nicer.
And again, like they said, this is a bigger house, has 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. It's brand new. And she goes like, wait, what's this mess? Like, ugh, look at this mess. Patrick is like, we just moved in.
Yeah,
those are boxes.
Yeah.
She just tries to find reasons to hate the house because she was like, oh, you already saw the other house.
Right. But just if you're upset with John, be upset with John. I think we would all understand that. If you're going to pick on this $1 million gorgeous house, sorry, you lost me. And I think you lost the argument.
Yeah. I think she just I don't know, like that open space, whatever was at the old house. But again, that was his ex-wife's house.
Yeah.
Or the house he lived in with his ex. So I would actually think that she would be thrilled about a new house, a new beginning, know his story.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
That's it. That's the episode. Teresa loved it. I thought it was a solid 7.
I thought it was a solid 8.5.
All right. You're sticking to it. All right. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know. Message us at Married to Reality Pod on Instagram. How you guys liking the season? Are you loving it? Are you really loving it? We're loving it. We're also going to be going live on Instagram Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. We're going to celebrate 2 years.
Can't believe that.
I can't believe. Oh, you cannot believe it.
2 years old.
2 years. We are just babies.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Yeah. So come celebrate with us 2 years, Wednesday night, 9 o'clock at Married to Reality Pod on Instagram. Also, make sure you're following the podcast wherever you're listening. Look down, smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as the beach.
I knew that was coming. Imagine if Space Cash was too hot. And DeVito's like, you put that helmet on. I have to be the hottest one in this band. That could be. You never know.
You never know.
So, yes. Follow the pod, follow the Instagram, and please leave a review if you haven't. Lenny T, we loved it. Thank you so much. You are fabulous. So thank you for leaving us that fabulous review. That is it. I think that's it. Yeah, I've said it all.
I've said it all.
All right. That means we'll talk to you guys soon. We'll talk to you Wednesday night on our live. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.